Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make sweet and sour figs and Bhor. Firstly, I cleaned up the figs and I cleaned up the Bhor, and I rinsed the figs on several times, and I also rinsed the Bhor on several times. And now I'm going to actually steam them out with vinegar first, and thereafter I'm also going to take a handful of figs and Bhor for the vegetable pickle that I'm making. This is a 500 gram and a 500 gram. But after cleaning, the figs must have been, there was a lot of dirt, so maybe it must have been a 400 gram. This is the vinegar that I used to soak my veggies yesterday, of which it was 1.5 liter. And because I'm making the sweet and sour, I'm going to actually add 75 ml to each pot. In fact, you can, if you're only making your Bhor of figs on its own, so you can use up your new vinegar, but not to get rid or throw away so much of vinegar, we are putting it back in use for steaming up our Bhor and figs. These are 750 ml each. For making your veg pickle, if you're using Bhor and figs, and for making your sweet and sour sauce pickle, you had to use the same process. You had to steam out your Bhor and figs. Now, why I'm doing this separately? Because my Bhor have seeds and my figs doesn't have seeds. So the steaming will be differently. Okay, now my figs and my Bhor is had a quick steam. You must be very careful, mustn't allow it to boil very much, because the reason being it will get soft and then it will tear apart in the pickle. So I will rinse out the vinegar. And let it to rest. And then I will rinse out, strain out this vinegar. Okay, now I'm going to show you the ingredients for the sweet and sour syrup to be made for our figs and Bhor. The ingredients are 2 cups of vinegar to 1 cup of sugar. Then I have a tablespoon of corn flour, of which I'm going to stay in the water not to cause lumps, and a teaspoon of fine salt. And the braising ingredients are 2 dry chillies with few curry leaf and a teaspoon of mustard seed to a 1/4 cup of oil. And thereafter the pickle masala will actually be thrown into the figs, and the pure chili powder, that's for one. And then we have another tablespoon of pickle masala and a pure chili powder.
So it's 1 tablespoon pickle masala and 1 teaspoon
pure chili powder.
pure chili powder.
Okay, now my pot is heated up well. I'm going to add in my 2 cups of vinegar. To the 1 cup of sugar, which I will stir in till it all dissolves. And allow it to boil. Okay, my sugar has dissolved. I'm going to add in my salt and with my corn flour, half a cup of water. I'm going to stir it very well. If you like it more sweet, you can add on more sugar if you like. Then I'm going to put in my corn flour to cook. I'm going to add in my corn flour gently and bring it to the boil. You have to keep stirring till it comes to a boil. Okay, now it has come to a boil. So we're not going to allow it to really boil out very much because it will start burning to the bottom. You can see it's nice and thick. And then I will remove this from the plate and start my braising. Okay, I'm using my 1/4 cup of oil. Don't allow your oil to become very hot because these things, the braising items, actually bust out. I put in my dry chilies, but I won't allow it to burn out very much. Then I put in my curry leaf and my mustard seed, and then it's done. I put my stove off, and thereafter I'll add it to my syrup. And stir it well. Okay, while I'm allowing this to cool down a little, I will mix up my masala that I put in. Give it a good mix. And then we're going to see how far our syrups go, which means making another batch of syrup. We have to do so because this is the first time I'm dealing with 2 items at one time. Okay, the ratio that I make for my syrup is not too thick and it's not too weak. So I'm going to add in to my figs first to see how it covers up. I think it's just 1. So it's 500 grams to 2 cups of vinegar, a cup of sugar, a tablespoon of corn flour, and a small teaspoon of fine salt to 500 gram. So I will stir this and make the same amount for my Bhor, because sometimes the kids like to suck in the juices, and these juices will actually, as it stands, it will escape into the figs. Okay, here you go, my figs in the syrup. I am going to allow it to set for a week before actually eating, and that's when the syrup will seep into the figs, and you can put your masala according to the way you like it. But for now it's quite delicious because we did taste it, and I am actually going to make another batch of syrup for my Bhor, but you can only have it after a week, so therefore I'll pack it into a airtight container and allow it to set in the fridge. Okay, my next batch of syrup is ready for my Bhor, and I will gently pour it in. And you can see this, don't worry about the color, because as it sits, the color will come in red. But if you're going to add in more masala, it's not going to be it will be quite tita for children especially to eat. Why I say children's, I've been running a school tuck shop in Durban, and I used to make plenty of this Bhor and sell to those children's. To me it was quite profitable, and for them it was very tasty. Right, thank you all for watching till we come up with our next video.